Definitely turn off the AC to save on that electricity bill. Right now, the humidity is a little bit higher than what we were expecting for the rest of this week, but there will be increased chances of rain. As you can see with the current satellite, we are getting a little bit of moisture more towards the east and just coming towards us slowly during the week. So we are going to be expecting a little bit of rain during this week. And for the 3-day forecast, we can expect very mild temperatures, just in the 70s alone for highs this week and 50s in the evening. So definitely have a sweater out when you're walking around town, but you don't have to worry so much about the actual day or sweating or anything like that. You do have to worry a little bit about Friday for rain chances, but nothing too gradual. And for tonight's forecast, it's going to be a nice 52 degrees. And it's going to be a great day just to go around town, walk around. And it's going to be very mild temperatures, so you don't have to worry that much. And now I'm going to send it off to the lab with Michael.
Thanks, Natasha. So in today's lab, with meteorological winter starting this Friday, December 1st, we're going to talk about the different types of precip you can get during the winter and the hazards associated with that precip. So our first type of precip is obviously snow. Now, all precip in the upper atmosphere starts out as snow. And when you get snow, the entire atmosphere is below freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. So it starts out as snow and it stays as snow. And when the ground is below freezing, that snow can stick to the ground. So that's snow right there. The next type of winter precip is sleet. Now, again, we started out with snow because it's below freezing in the upper atmosphere. But there is this shallow, warm layer in the middle part of the atmosphere, allowing that snow to melt partially into these basically water droplets. Then, once you go lower in the atmosphere, the air is below freezing. It's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So that partially melted snow freezes. It has enough time to freeze. So you get these not ice pellets, but you get these solid water particles, and they actually bounce off the surface. That is what we call sleet. Next, we go to freezing rain. Now, freezing rain, in my opinion, is one of the most hazardous winter precip types. The reason, it starts out as snow again. Now we have a deeper warm layer, so that snow is able to melt completely. In this part of the atmosphere, it's actually rain. But then as you go down towards the surface, there's a very shallow of cold air below 32 degrees, 0 degrees Celsius. So now these become ice pellets and they freeze when they touch the surface. Now when we look at the entire US, when we look actually locally, we commonly get freezing rain. And that is due to the warmer air of the Gulf of Mexico. Now let's send it off to Charlie at the wall.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Looking at the current conditions at Tallahassee International Airport, we see 68 degrees with those partly cloudy conditions, giving us those little breezy conditions, a little bit of shade from that moonlight that we're not going to be getting a lot of today. See the dew point at 60 degrees, giving us a humidity of 76% with those calm winds hanging around the area, at least for the meantime. Looking at the national radar, we can see our area down here in the Gulf, not a whole lot going on. So that's why I'm showing you this picture up here. We see this front that is eventually moving its way across the Kansas City area, upper areas of Michigan, Minnesota as well. That front is the one that's going to be causing us a little bit of weather later on in the week, and really the only thing that's going on in our area. As we see in the satellite and radar for currently, look at this all day from Tuesday, 2 p.m. all the way through 6 o'clock. Pretty much nothing, not even a shadow to show over here. And looking at the current conditions in the Big Bend region, we see St. Mark's out a little bit closer to close, 68 here in Tallahassee. Quincy also 66 as well. So pretty much the mid-60s on up. We see Marietta, the hot spot on the map for right now, at 70 degrees. The current winds, they're pretty much all over the place. They're either a little calm or no real pattern to what's going on over here. We see St. Mark's with this offshore breeze working at 4 miles per hour. Carabel, another calm day for them. Apalachicola, they're getting a offshore breeze as well at 5 miles per hour. today's high temperatures, we had those you know, pretty clear conditions. A little bit of those spot up clouds didn't cool us off that much. 77 degrees here in Tallahassee. Quincy the same at 77, and a little bit further north in Bainbridge we see 79 degrees, and Apalachicola being the cold spot at 75 degrees for today's high. Tomorrow's forecast, we see 78 degrees. Expect those temperatures to climb throughout the day. Should be calm, cool conditions, but as far as tomorrow morning, we're expecting a lot of cloud coverage in our, fog in our area, and could potentially slow down that commute to class or to work, whatever you've got going on early in the morning. 7-day forecast, we see those still cloudy conditions, 78, 77 degrees, and working our way into the weekend, we see the chance of rain increases. That frontal passage slowly begins to make its way across our area. You see the lows 55, 54, so not too strong of a cold front. You see those temperatures staying pretty much the same, but they do dip down a little bit, so we can expect slightly cooler conditions than what we've been having, but not too much in the range of 60s or high 50s. Tevin, what do you got to say about that?
Well, Charlie, I think we get to take this trend and continue it across the entire state of Florida. We talk about maybe doing some early traveling or just getting out and about the state over the next few days or so. We've got that forecast for you too. Current conditions tonight, though, however, a little bit on the mild to warm side. 74 degrees in Orlando, 80 degrees in Tampa, 68 in the northern panhandle of Florida, 66 for Pensacola, and 68 for Jacksonville as well. So here's a look at the satellite and radar. Mostly clear and dry skies across the entire state, maybe some parts of South Beach and down towards the southern tip of the state, maybe seeing a few spotty showers to isolated showers. No severe weather on the radar, though, and mostly clear skies because of high pressure dominating it and will continue to dominate over the next few days or so. And the high pressure is indicative from our wind pattern. You can see here we have this clockwise rotation, winds coming from the east or northeast off of the eastern side of the state here, and that's going to bring in some cooler air. So we're talking about relatively cool, maybe to mild conditions, not quite warm though because of the pattern that we've got here. But current winds in Orlando, 12 miles an hour. It's going to be one of the higher areas. In West Palm Beach, also seeing winds up to about 14 to 15 miles an hour, again, from the east or northeast, generally speaking. The dew points, not too bad either. 66 degree dew points in Orlando, 64 for Tampa, 65 for Fort Myers, and a little bit closer to South Beach and Miami, 71 degree dew points, and Key West also at 71 degree dew points. They've also got some rain down in that area too, so that's becoming indicative of what we're seeing down there. But for us here closer to home, 60 degree dew points in Tallahassee and 64 in Jacksonville. Here's a look at your water vapor imagery. This is higher in the sky, though. You can see that there is some moisture down to Fort Myers, Miami, and West Palm Beach, and that will sort of persist after a frontal boundary moved through, but it sort of stalled out, and that's why they're seeing a little bit more moisture down south. But here, for us, the orange area, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, all the way along I-10 to Pensacola, dry conditions higher in the atmosphere, limiting our rain chances and also bringing in mild conditions and not too sweaty conditions tomorrow and into the weekend. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at temperatures dropping down into the mid to lower 50s, 53 degrees for Tallahassee, 58 for Jacksonville, 66 for Orlando, and 67 for Tampa, 68 for you in Fort Myers tonight. Wednesday's forecast, looking very much similar to today, but just a smidge warmer. That's right, we're going to warm things up a little bit. Tallahassee expecting temperatures at about 80 degrees tomorrow, maybe partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. By Jacksonville, a little bit further along the coast, 74 degrees tomorrow. You're closer to the water, so you're going to have cooler temperatures there. 80 degrees for Orlando, 84 for Tampa, and 85 for Fort Myers. That's a look at the statewide forecast. Now let's send things over back to the desk with Sydney and Brittany.
Thanks, Tevin. Wow, you can actually see us now.
I know.
Here we are at the desk. Yeah, so we were going to talk a little bit about the weather, so obviously. So today was a rather warm day compared to what the average is, which is 70 degrees. So it was up near 76 for our high.
Yeah, really warm. But if you're not a fan of the warm weather and you are a fan of the cold weather, within about 10 days, a weather pattern change could allow some really, really cold temperatures to take over the central and the eastern United States.
Now, it is too early to know the duration of how long this cold air is going to last for, but it definitely is going to affect the northeast and the midwestern regions of the United States coming in the next 10 days. So.
Yeah, but within the meantime, we're still going to see those mild temperatures dominate most of the lower 48 and throughout the weekend and early into next week.
Yeah, so the sharp pattern change later next week is increasingly likely to return colder weather across as I said before, the central parts of the Northeast. So where is this cold air right now that is going to be reaching us really is the question that people are asking.
Well, it's actually pretty far. It's actually in Siberia right now, in the center of Siberia. That's where most of the extreme cold is located in the northern hemisphere. And actually a low temperature of minus 69 degrees Fahrenheit was recorded Tuesday in Russia. So
Could you imagine that? Minus 69. We're dealing with 75-degree temperatures, and in other places of the world right now, they are seeing minus 69-degree temperatures.
Yeah, and their average temperature is minus 40, so it's below, but it's still cold.
I guess they're kind of used to that if you do live in those areas. If you can live in those areas.
Yeah, it is inhabited, in fact, yeah.
So, wow, those people just must bundle up and be used to that type of weather. Stay inside, I guess. But as of right now, we are going to be with another local look at Florida.
Thanks, Sydney and Brittany. Here in Tallahassee, we're not experiencing any of those cold conditions up in Russia and Siberia. We're at 68 degrees right now. The dew point is at 60 degrees, so a little bit higher than these last few days, and the humidity is up at 76%, and we're having calm winds. Across the Big Bend region, we're mainly in the 60s across the board. The only 70 I see is in Mariana. And the satellite and radar, as we were pointing out, is clear because high pressure is dominating the entire southeast region. For tonight, expect a gradual cool down. We're going to go down into those middle 60s by 7 p.m., down to 61 at 10 p.m., and we will be at 59 degrees by midnight. And by tomorrow morning, we are going to be in the middle 50s. And by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be pretty similar to today. 78 will be our high. Very nice conditions. And the east wind for 5 to 10 miles per hour. The week ahead is going to show very similar conditions to today on Wednesday and Thursday. Upper 70s in the afternoon and middle 50s in the mornings. By Friday and Saturday, we're going to introduce a 20% chance of rain due to an upcoming cold front, but we're not expecting widespread rain. It's going to be mainly scattered showers at most. By Sunday into Monday and into Tuesday, we'll be back towards average, those low 70s and around 50 in those lows, and it is looking like it's going to be a very nice week ahead. Now let's send it off to Tevin with a look at what's happening nationally across in terms of weather.
All right, thanks so much, Michael. You talked about the high pressure dominating for us here in Florida. That's also the trend across a lot of the United States as we take a look at our current conditions right now. Not seeing any really severe weather on the radar, maybe a few clouds on the current conditions for Dallas to San Antonio and New Orleans. Mostly sunny skies, though. That's also the trend in Memphis to Atlanta, where temperatures are in the lower 60s. Here's a look at the satellite and radar loops, which shows you the next chance for rainfall. However, that chance is starting to dwindle down more and more. This is the frontal boundary that's approaching. Right now, it's lying anywhere from Texas to Oklahoma in the Panhandle area there, all the way up into the Great Lakes region to the lower peninsula of Michigan. But guess what? There's so much high pressure on both sides of this. Drier air is entrapping this frontal boundary, and it's causing this moist air to just really die out. You can see it degenerate here as it moves closer and closer towards the eastern portions of the United States. And so, yes, we will call that a stalled out front for Texas into Oklahoma. But for the Great Lakes region all the way down to really Missouri and maybe some portions of Nebraska and Kansas, that frontal boundary still remains intact. But overall, for us, that's unfortunately going to mean not a lot of rainfall as we get closer into the weekend, where our rain chances are there, but they're becoming more and more minimal. Here's a look at the 24-hour temperature change. Dallas, you are 3 degrees warmer today than you were this time yesterday, but take a look behind the front. We said the front was here in the Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle. 32 degrees cooler in Lamar, Oklahoma than you were this time yesterday. Albuquerque also doing some cooling off at about 11 degrees cooler today than this time yesterday. Current dew points are a little bit mild side, 50-degree dew points for Dallas, 60 for New Orleans, and 18 for Denver, 23 for Billings, Montana, 30-degree dew points for Salt Lake City, Utah. Here's a look at the current winds, showing you that most of the winds are out of the southeast for the southeastern portion of the United States, but behind the front, the winds are also starting to come from the southeast as well, 9 miles an hour in Denver. As we take a look at watches and warnings, there's not a lot to show you on the radar. Some gale warnings for some portions of Michigan because of some high winds, but also some high winds north of Denver and near Salt Lake City. But that's it, folks. No severe weather on the radar. It is quiet. Tonight will remain quiet and cool for Memphis. You're at 47 degrees. Detroit at 41, 25 and cool in Minneapolis, 38 and cool in Kansas City, 27 in Denver. I don't think we'll get that cold tonight. I'm almost positive we won't get that cold tonight here in Florida, and we won't be that cold tomorrow too in Tallahassee, which should be at about 80 degrees, 70 degrees for Atlanta, and 64 for Washington, D.C. That's a look at your national forecast. Let's send things over to Charlie and Natasha.
Tevin, thank you very much for that great look at what's going on across the country. You saw that 24-hour temperature change for Lamar, Colorado. That was 34 degrees drop.
That's insane.
That's that just goes to show you how strong that front is in that region, especially with the the mountains in that area. But unfortunately, I don't think those 34-degree temperature changes are going to make it all the way to us.
Oh, I wish they would. I wish we could get a snow day up in here. That would be fantastic.
Right, snow day would be nice. I'd take anything under these 70-degree temperatures right now. But Mike talked today about the meteorological winter starting December 1st. Do you know the difference between meteorological winter and astrological winter?
Not really, actually.
No, I actually had to look this up myself. Astrological winter that officially starts when the sun is in the southern. That's the southernmost point it's going to reach. Meteorological winter starts right on December 1st because meteorologists consider winter the 3 months that have the lowest average temperature. So that would be December, January, and February for up here in the northern hemisphere.
Instead of the winter solstice. That's interesting.
Right. That's right. So couple things going on, not a whole lot in our area, but that national picture, Tevin did a great job of showing that front. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully that front can keep a little strong,
coming down.
make its way further south to us, give us those cool temperatures, but they can leave that rain over there in the.
Oh yeah, we don't want the rain. We want the cold weather.
Yeah, we'll take the cold weather. We'll take the clear skies. Excuse me. Brittany, I believe we're going to send it out to you with a look at the southeast. What's going on in our area for the next couple days?
Yes, thank you, Natasha and Charlie. We're going to be taking a look at the southeast. Right now it is 68 in Tallahassee. Cooler than today, not as cool as we're used to as we've been seeing the last couple days. We're 77 in Key West, still a little warm. Our cool spot right now is at Tupelo at 63, and we're at 68 in sunny skies in Shreveport. Looking at the satellite and radar, not much to talk about. Sunshine State looking pretty well. Clear skies, sunny skies, and you do kind of see that front starting to peek through up here that we're going to see in the next weekend. And down over here where you see these spotty showers on the east coast of Florida and some showers over in the southern Gulf, we have these clouds. This is a disturbance. It is a leftover area where the front was, so that is causing some disturbed weather over there. Taking a look at the 24-hour temperature change. Now this is a 90-degree difference of where we were at yesterday, 7 degrees in Montgomery and 4 in Shreveport. You can see these temperatures are starting to rise. This is because the front has moved through and a high pressure area is dominating the area. So that's allowing sunny skies and for the land to heat up. So we are going to continue to increase in temperature until that next front arrives. Looking at our current winds, nothing going on here in Tallahassee, 0 miles per hour, nothing to see here. 5 in Tupelo, 6 in Atlanta. We have 8 coming out of the south in Shreveport. And down here in Miami and Key West and Orlando, we do have a pretty breezy area, 12 coming out of the east mostly. That's again because of that disturbance from what's left over of that stalled out front in the south. And with those winds, you can see these watches and warnings. We have a small craft advisory in the Keys. So if you are taking a boat out, beware. It is choppy, so you want to always stay safe and pay attention to those warnings. Tonight, 53 in Tallahassee, 63 in New Orleans, and we have 48 in Little Rock. Tupelo is definitely our cool spot at 48. Down in the Key West, 74, staying really, really warm down there, still surrounded by water, definitely has that influence. 80 degrees tomorrow in Tallahassee. We're coming into December and it is still extremely warm. 80 again in Orlando. They'll see some cloudy skies though, 83 in Miami, and we're a little cooler up to the northwest, 66 in Little Rock, 73 in Shreveport, and 76 in New Orleans. You can see these cloudy icons next to these cities. That front is approaching, so those clouds are going to start to increase. And we're pretty sunny over here, 74 in Savannah and 71 in Wilmington. So we will start to see these conditions change when the next cold front comes through, and we are going to see some pretty nice weather. But for now, let's send it over to the desk.
All right, welcome into the Seminole Sports Desk, where we like to take weather and integrate it to sports. And so we'll hit the first game up this weekend is the Florida State game versus ULM, which was, of course, rescheduled because of none other than weather. Charlie, if you remember that.
That's right. Couldn't forget that.
Hurricane Irma came through, or expected to come through, so they had to reschedule the game, and most games across the entire state of Florida. So we're going to play that game this Saturday at noon, a noon kickoff, another noon kickoff for us.
Another noon kickoff.
That's been a trend.
What are you going to do?
I think that's the trend whenever your record is hopefully 6-6, so we can become bowl eligible.
That's right. That could be the end of a very long streak. Actually, I think the longest current running streak
in college football is 35, which is us.
That's right.
So hopefully we can continue that streak, keep it up, keep it alive, and Florida State can win against ULM. I have bad vibes against ULM just because I was at Arkansas and they beat us, and it was not expected to happen, and that was the beginning of Arkansas's downhill spiral. But we'll put that aside for the nice rivalry this weekend.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. If we lose, Kevin Wooten just jinxed us. I'm just kidding. No, it's going to be a beautiful day. Hopefully that front won't bring any rain or any too much wind.
Too much wind, yeah, because that could factor into it. If we get winds out of the southeast, that could cause some kicks to get lifted towards the northwest, which can sometimes work in your favor, sometimes work against. Maybe if you're kicking a field goal, that would work in your favor, but if you're punting, then
And growing up in Miami, I've been haunted by wide right and wide left multiple times. So we definitely don't need to have that in our against University of Louisiana, Monroe, I believe.
Yes.
That's our last home game of the season.
That is our last home game of the season.
Last home game for the season. So make sure. Get ready, wake up nice and early, get plenty hydrated, get something to eat, and get out to the stadium and root on your Florida State Seminoles as they take on ULM.
And then we've also got the Tallahassee Comic Con coming up this weekend, December the 2nd and 3rd along Mahan Drive.
That's right. That's out at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum, and I believe that's all the way out there towards on the east side of town, out by I-10. That should be, they've got. I'm looking at the guest list, and they've got a lot. They've got a lot of speakers, a lot of guests, and it should be a very interesting time.
So if you go dressed out in costume, you won't have to worry about wearing a jacket. You can show off the costume because the temperature should be well into the 70s, maybe the 60s a little bit, but not too cold.
Shouldn't be too hot. Shouldn't be too cold. Should be free range for just about anything you want to do.
We've been getting very lucky here, and then also chilling at the Res. That is December the 3rd, 12 to 5:30 p.m. It's free for FSU students, I believe, and $5 for non-FSU students. So if you want to go chill out at the Res, the forecast is great for that all the way through the weekend as well.
That's right. It's going to be another beautiful end of the week, and hopefully not too much rain over the weekend with this front. But,
that's right.
For now, we're going to take it out to Sydney. She's got another look at what's going on around us.
Hey, Sydney.
Hi friends over there, I am here to bring it back in with some local weather, and those activities they were talking about, some of them you can do now while the weather is still beautiful out there, because this weekend we could be experiencing some rain. So if I were you, I'd get outside now, because today we had a high of 70 and it has cooled off nicely to 68 degrees with that dew point hanging around 60. So as we go into the night, it is going to feel more humid as that temperature lowers closer to that dew point. But today we did not see much humidity at all. It was actually extremely dry. And look at this satellite. No rain. We have those dry skies hanging out above the Tallahassee area due to the high pressure that has been lingering in our area since yesterday. Now into tonight's forecast, we're going to notice that 52 degrees and some clouds could be popping up, but as you saw in that radar, right now, not a cloud in the sky, and it is going to be a great night to be outdoors due to those calm winds and clear skies and also light winds. So we're going to really be enjoying if you do go outside today. Tomorrow's outlook, 78 degrees. So tomorrow is going to be warming up very, very nicely compared to today, 2 degrees warmer than our high temperature of today. So wind will be 5 to 10 miles an hour as we go into tomorrow. So those winds are also increasing ever so slightly from what we will be seeing today. Now across the entire region tomorrow, we will be seeing the mid 70s, ranging from 76 down in Apalachicola and Carabel on our coast to St. Mark's, which will be seeing 79 degrees tomorrow. So not much of a range of those temperatures, but beautiful around the region if you do like those warmer conditions. Now, if you are a golfer, we do have this golf index. It goes from 1 to 5. 1 being you don't want to go out on that golf course, and 5 being the best conditions to be seen out there. So tomorrow will be a 4. If you are going to be making your way out there, I would definitely say go out there and golf because it will be a 4. So clear day with mild winds. I'm not a golfer, but that's what I've heard that golfing entails for a good golf day. Now, if you are going outside within the next 3 days, no, clear and mild for Wednesday and Thursday. That will be very similar days. So wear those t-shirts. You may need to layer up in the morning because it will be cooler in the mornings and then warm up as they go throughout the day and as that sun comes out. And Friday, don't forget to pack that umbrella. So let's take a look at this 7-day Wednesday and Thursday. Carbon copies of each other, light, barely any clouds in the sky, and high 70s. Those rain chances increase into Friday and Saturday as that front comes overhead. But Michael and Natasha, will you guys tell me more about the 7-day?
Yes, Sydney, that 7-day is actually looking really nice, like near 80 for these next few days, and that cold front comes in by Friday into Saturday. I hope we get some rain out of that because it has been pretty dry across our region. We actually do need some rain. So I know you're saying you don't like the rain, but I personally want a little bit of rain because I've noticed I've been on the golf course these last few weeks and it's gotten drier.
It gets very muggy out too when it's dry. You just feel all that sweat too.
Yeah, but it's looking like next week it will be cooler, back towards average. And then maybe by the end of next week, we were hinting at that cooler, really cold air coming down in the eastern 2/3 of the nation. So it's probably going to get cold by the time Christmas comes.
Wow. And definitely for finals week, it's going to be colder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope the weather finally matches the Christmas holiday. Like, get me into the Christmas spirit.
To get that Christmas sweater going. Well, anyway, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
Also, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather. And also, don't forget about our Instagram at FSU weather. And for all of us here at FSU weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Natasha Del Cruz. Thank you for tuning in.